All right, guys, we are making a lot of progress here. Okay, what if we go back? Let's go down to Scratch. So I'm going to say CD, and I'll go Home. I'm trying to do it lots of different ways. I'm going Home and then down into Scratch, and I do an LS, and I've got Hello AI World. And let's say that Hello AI World is really too long, and I want to rename that. How do I rename that file? Well, I do a move MV. Okay, I do a move MV. And what do I want to move? I want to move Hello AI World dot py, and I want to move it to, we'll just call it AI World dot py, right? And then that liked it ls. Look, you see the Hello AI World is gone and the AI world is there. And so move, it's a little counterintuitive, right? It's a little counterintuitive because move is really rename. And so they didn't do like RN for rename, they did MV for move. All right. But I can also move it like I could move AI world dot py, which is here, and I could move it to /home /pjm / let's just put it in my main home directory there, /home /pjm. Okay, and then let's look ls, and where do I want to look? Up one level, and there is, I hope, AI world. Yeah, that's not a very good place for it, so let's move it back. Move AI world dot py to Scratch, no leading slash because I'm not going back to root, Scratch excuse me, /AI world dot py, like that. Ooh, AI. Oh, I'm in Scratch. I am in Scratch already, so I need to go ... that's up, and get AI world, and then put it in my present directory like that. You guys look at that. Make sure you understand this. This is where you get confused. Okay, now let's look ls, and AI world is back where it needs to be. Okay, I can also copy. So I can CP, I can copy AI world.py to hello AI world.py, like that. And right, I'm just working from the directory I'm in to the directory I'm in, so I'm not putting path names. And now if I look at ls, now I have both AI world and I have hello AI world. All right, I've got AI world and I've got hello AI world. I should have done a move instead of a copy. How do I get rid of that? I get rid of that with remove rm, and I want to remove AI world.py. Okay, now I can also make a directory. So I'm going to mkdir, make a directory, go up one, and then create a directory that we are going to call junk. All right, now if I do an ls ... that will show me above, and what you can see is I have a junk directory. Now from where I am, how would I get rid of junk? Well, I would do a rmdir, remove directory, and then go up and then remove junk, like that. Okay, it's gone, bye-bye. I do an ls ... no junk. All right, but let me make junk again. How do I do that? I'd use the up arrow, and I do a make directory up /junk. Okay, so now the junk should be back there. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look here and I'm going to copy. I'm going to copy add.py, and I'm going to copy it to home /junk. And then let's see, I don't know, I'm going to have to look at this and see if that does it. And then I do, yeah, it does it. So I do an ls and ... and then /junk. And I've got add.py in junk. And then if I look where I am now, because I did a copy, I've got add.py here as well. Does that make sense? I hope it's All right. So you can see that we've got it here and we've got it there. Now I'm going to delete that folder. Okay, so I am going to do a remove directory, and I want to remove up one, and then I want to remove junk. Okay, and it says junk failed to remove because the directory is not empty. Now imagine you had 100 files over there, and what it wants you to do is it wants you to delete the files out of the folder before you can delete the folder. All right, and that is kind of like one of the things when you're very early on in Linux that really goofs you up, that you can't just eliminate the whole directory. You have to get rid of the stuff out of the directory and then remove it, unless you do the command rm, so that's remove, and then recursively, okay, that means over and over, and then what do I want to remove? I want to remove junk, so I go up, because right now I'm in Scratch, I go up to my home directory, and then it can see junk, and then I just do junk. And that's kind of like getting rid of it and the horse it rode in on. Okay, it gets rid of everything. It gets rid of the directory, and it gets rid of the contents. So let's see if that works with one command. And then I will do an ls ... and that junk directory is gone, and everything that was in it. Okay, so I'm still down in Scratch, and I have this, and this is pretty good. So I've done a move, I've done a copy, I've told you the importance of never using a space in a file name in Linux. Okay, and so now let's see, you know, this Scratch, the problem is it's kind of like Scratch. I put everything in Scratch. So I'm going to make a new directory. I'm going to say make directory, and that directory is going to go up, and then it's going to be text files like that. Okay, and then I'm going to make a directory, and it is going to be Python files like that. Now if I do an ls looking up one level, look at that. I have Python files and I have text files. Now the problem is this nonsense in Scratch is I've put a bunch of different types of files all in the same folder. Now what I'd like is I'd like to move my Python files to my Python folders and my text files to my text. Ooh, how many times have I said folder? I think at least 3. Okay. Directories. Okay, you guys really should have put out a dollar jar for me for that. We got to stop thinking about folders, and we got to start thinking of directories. Okay, so what you could do is you could imagine doing a copy and then add .py like that, and then move it up and then move it down into Python files. Okay, you could do that, but then like what if you had 500 different files? Then you would have to just do it over and over and over and over. And what I want you to see is it's going to kind of get to where you start loving Linux, because there's very simple commands that do really, really complicated functions. And so what I could do is, instead of doing that, I could say copy. The wildcard is star. So star matches everything. So this is saying move star dot py. Okay, move copy star dot py up and then down into Python files just Python files. Okay, like that. So copy everything that's a .py, star, the wildcard matches everything .py. So anything .py is going to be moved. The wildcard is like one of the most powerful things that has ever been developed. Okay. Oh, I misspelled Python files. It should have been an uppercase F. Like that. Okay, now let's ls and let's look up and then down into Python files like that. And then there they are. All right, there they are. What if instead of that, what if I had said copy? What if I'd said copy and just put star and then into Python files? You guys tell me what that would do. Would it move nothing? Would it move everything? Okay, star matches everything. So now if I do an ls and I do a / Python files, oh my goodness, I ended up with everything over there, including my text files. Well, what could I do? Well, I could do an rm, and then I could say -r to do it recursively. I believe this will work. And then I will go .. and then I will go down into Python files, and then I will do a star. I want to remove star.txt. I'm not sure if I really need that -r or not. Let me try it without the -r, because I think that star, a wildcard, will kind of be recursive, but let's see. Okay, it liked it. Now let me look over there in it, and that got rid of my text files. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Do you see that wildcard? It's very, very powerful. Very powerful, the wildcard. Okay, so let's see now. I have got, let's go back to Scratch and let's look in it. And so I've got my Python files where I want my Python files. Now I got to move my text files. So I can say I can just do a move instead of a copy. I can do a move, and I want to move everything.txt. And where do I want to move it? I want to move it into /home/pjm. You put who you are there, and then my, what did I call that? Text files, I believe. Text files. Okay. So this time I'm going to move. All right. And then what I can do is I can do an ls, and you can see that the text files are missing. And what I want to do now is I want to just see, yeah, okay, so you see that in the first time I copied them, the Python files, I copied them, and then these I did indeed move them. So the difference between move and copy. All right, now let's look and say, well, what if I try to remove, and I try to remove Scratch, SCRATCH. Okay, first problem is it doesn't see Scratch. Why? I am in Scratch, and I don't know what I am in. If I am in Scratch, I don't see Scratch. So what could I do? I could say CD, go up, and then look down into Scratch and remove it. Okay, oops, I shouldn't have done CD. I meant remove directory. Okay, and I want to remove directory. I should have done remove directory the first time. So I'll say remove directory, Scratch. Okay, and it says you can't remove it because it doesn't see it. Doesn't see it because you're in it. So I could say remove directory, and then I could say go up and then look down into Scratch and remove that. Now I've got the problem that it's not empty. So what would I do? RM and then -r. Notice I'm deleting the folder that I'm deleting the directory that I'm in. RM -r. And then what I would do is, that's recursively, and then I want to remove, go up, and then remove Scratch. All right, and then it does it. It looks like it does it. Okay, how am I still in Scratch? That's kind of crazy. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, Scratch is gone, but it let me still be in it. So it deleted it, but it didn't take me out of it. So that was kind of unusual. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting it to pop me up into the next one above it. So let's look now, and like if we try to go back to Scratch, it should be gone now. Okay, yeah. So Scratch is gone now. Okay, guys, this has been a fun lesson. Hopefully, this gives you enough that when you start installing libraries and you start doing things, you'll know a little bit more about how, excuse me, little hay fever is all, nothing to be concerned about. Okay, so let's do one more thing. Remember how I did the sudo apt get install nano to put a program in? What if you want to get rid of a program? Well, we could do a sudo apt get remove nano like that. And then it's going to come in and say, do you really want to kill nano? Yeah, so this is how to delete a program. You don't go in and delete files, you do an uninstall. So apt get remove to get rid of something. Okay, now let's look and see where we are. Let's change directory into text files, and then if I try to do a nano, or let me do an ls, and now if I try to do a nano of my dogs.txt, doesn't know what nano is because nano was removed. I'll show you one other thing. Let me do a sudo apt-get install nano. Let me bring it back. And this is just a little thing that I do that I have found helpful. It'll take just a second. Okay, it should now. Let's see if we come back and say nano mydogs.txt. All right, so now we can nano again because we reinstalled it. When I remove something, the darn thing, okay, the darn thing when you do an apt-get remove, it seems to me like sometimes it like deactivates the program, but it doesn't really get rid of it. And so I like to kind of do like an apt-get purge, and it seems like purge really seriously gets rid of everything. So apt-get purge nano, okay, I did a sudo, yeah. All right, so this really kind of does a more thorough job of getting rid of old programs, because sometimes if you're not careful, your Linux system gets a little kind of like a bunch of old worn out stuff that you're not using anymore in it. So I found just personally sometimes I have more luck using apt-get purge than apt-get remove. But we can install with apt-get install. Sometimes you need to use sudo apt-get install, sudo apt-get remove. If you're installing Python libraries, you a lot of times will install them with pip, and we'll talk about pip probably next week in the lesson. We will do that. But we have learned ls shows you what's in your current directory, ... takes you up, squiggly takes you home, cd is for change directory. We can always find out where we are with print working directory, and that will show us the path of precisely where we are all the way back from root. We learned to use nano to edit a text file. We learned how to run a Python program from the command terminal. We learned how to move things with mv. We learned how to remove things with rm. We learned to make directory mkdir. We learned to remove directory with rmdir. We learned how to remove recursively to get rid of the directory and the contents. And so I think we've learned a lot today. And even though for a lot of guys this is going to be very basic stuff, for a guy coming from Arduino, this is the stuff that you don't know that makes it where you never get beyond just running someone else's demo or just copying and pasting their commands. Hopefully this will sort of allow you to see what all that stuff means that you're doing, and if you can understand, and then you will be able to do it on your own. Hey guys, I had a lot of fun today. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions, leave comments down below. I would be happy to try to answer your comments, and I hope you will tune in to the next lesson, which will be the NVIDIA Explore AI at Home Python edition, because I think that is the other foundation that you need to get. Okay guys, Paul McWhorter from TopTechBoy.com. I will talk to you guys later.